good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thursday, the 25th of September. We'll start off with the long to short ratio. Yep, longs coming in on this breakdown. Generally, we actually shot up from 55% yesterday, well, at the daily close last night, to 60, basically 62% long. So lots of longs coming in the market. Maybe a little bit of a recipe for a further breakdown here. We were getting kind of close to a little bit more shorts coming in on that one up move. But then we did some failures last night on the daily close, and it's led us into basically closing new lows. Right now, the structure looks very weak. Looks like we're doing underside retests, and we might go for a little bit more down to the downside towards the end of this week, Friday. And yeah, it's not looking amazing at the moment, but if we just go to the daily, yeah, we could be in for tagging the lows again, or at least a little bit lower, like 110, just underneath 110. The order book, yeah, we're currently on the hourly node. Oh, this is the 4-hour node actually, so we're right at the bottom of it. Let me get the hourly out. Yeah, we failed the hourly node right here. This is what we really wanted to hold for more upside. We wanted to hold 112.8 basically, this little thing after we did the breakout. But yeah, super weak bearish retest. Didn't even really get any of these short orders filled, and we have some stuff stacked above us at about 114.5, 114.8 now as well. So we've got some stuff holding us down. We've got some longs coming into the market. It's generally a recipe for seeing one more dump. It looked very good actually yesterday after we did this wick and we set a new high, but again, we haven't really held anything of anything that we needed to hold. Even here, when we did this one green candle on the bearish retest of this underside in the node, and yeah, it looks like we're just going to go possibly a little bit further down into the liquidity before we go up. But because of that, it does look like we will see a bounce quite soon. In terms of liquidation, sorry, we have a little bit of a pocket below us at 110.9, 110.5, just underneath the wick that we did. And obviously there's a lot of stuff below, above us, so like 117.5 and stuff like that. We slightly need to go to a larger time frame to just look. Yeah, we do have that long liquidity just sitting below us, just there. Apart from that, yeah, I mean, we've got a massive chunk, to be honest, all the way down to 107. I would like to see some of these lows held at like 110 and in between 110 and 111. But yeah, we could just continue grinding down into liquidity as long as more longs are coming into the market as we're grinding down, and it will probably end with like a big wick and then a massive regain. In terms of the bull market, I don't think we're not really done yet. We've got to 82 in CBI a few times. Each time we've seen a pullback, but each time hasn't been as big as the last one. So this kind of formation on the CBI looks like, if you're doing like charting, you could put like a straight line across the 80s and then a slanted line up into resistance. It kind of looks like we're getting ready for a blow off top still. And I'm not really going to change my tune yet on anything on this. Economic calendar, we got some news today, 1 hour before American market opens. It's nothing too crazy, but there is quite a lot of different data coming in today. As you can see, there's just loads of different ones. So it's not something that you really need to be too aware of, but yeah, we do have some data coming in today and tomorrow, which also could provide a little bit of volatility in the market in the short term. For the max pain, for some reason I can't get the 1 month on. I'm not really sure why that's happening, but the 2 week short max pain up at 119, well 119, 120 is still a big target to the upside for all the liquidations and stuff on Bitcoin. Sorry, short max pain. Did I say long? Long max pain is actually just at 110. So where are we right now? Did we even tag 110? We're basically on it. We did tag 110. Wow, we actually tagged 110.11 yesterday on the liquidation wick. So yeah, let's see those longs get punished, and then we might be in for a little bit of a reversal, but we'll have to see. It does look like if we do one more move down into liquidity, then we're going to bull div massively on the 4-hour, the 12-hour, daily, and stuff like that. And then we'll have taken quite a lot of liquidity. Hopefully, there'll be way less longs in the market by then. And we'll have to see about potentially getting some sort of like bounce up to at least 116. But yeah, we're not really there yet. We've got massive support below us as well, which we'll look at in a second. So I think that's it for the old data. Let's just go back to the 4-hour on this and just say that we are barely holding the low here, like just barely. It looks quite weak. It looks a little bit weak. We could go down to like 110 or just underneath 110 in the short term. Maybe over Friday on the weekend. And then we'll see what happens next week for the monthly close. If we can close above September. So we're generating not too bad a month for September anyway. And we'll be setting us nice for October apparently. But yeah, let's go talk about some trades. 17.8 bill expires tomorrow. Okay, that makes so much sense. So go to options, max pain. Where do I find that? Open interest?
No, you gotta go to data, and then under the options tab, which is on like the right hand side.
Bitcoin.
Right hand side,
Oh yeah,
bottom right.
yeah. I got it. OI ratio.
Max pain is the very bottom one. No, the on that section, very bottom one. Very bottom. Nope,
I'm struggling.
we're so
Oh,
close.
max pain. I see. Sorry about that.
And the way to read it, the one on the very left over there, could say like 0926 something. Very left. That's the very right one.
Okay.
Very left.
Yeah.
Very left side. That's the right side. Yep. That says 0926. Yep. That's tomorrow's
Okay, is that
expiration.
tomorrow? Okay, the max pain is
Yeah.
110. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. So the max pain, 17 bill at 110. So yeah, a little bit more of a dump probably today and tomorrow, and then we'll see like maybe probably at most probably a big bounce or a reversal. But yeah, it's just looking how it is. Oh yeah, I'll just show you that on the chart real quick. On the recording, I mean. So yes, a little bit more dump and then big pump, please. Thanks for that. Yo, I'd say we get 17109 soon. Bounce from there, then we go for 100, 104. Yeah. That would actually be quite devious if we did 100, 104. The amount of like the smell and the fear, and then we just bounce all the way back up to 120, clear all that liquidity. And that'll be the alt season. So yeah. Anyway, in the immediate price action, so I actually caught some longs yesterday. Was it yesterday? We're talking about Tuesday. I was talking about setting some orders in between like 111.3 and 110.7 in this area for potential bounce. I got pinged on a couple just on this wick. Took a bit of profit here, and the rest is kind of just like hanging on for dear life, to be honest. I'm not going to close the trade as of right now, but we are heavily long. So, and we are kind of doing some underside retest. It doesn't look great. I'm just going to put my stop pretty much like here. If they take it and run it back, fine. Is what it is. It's no risk to me anyway. On Bitcoin though, yeah, we really wanted to hold like something like this after we did the little breakout, and we haven't. So yeah, with the amount of longs coming into the market, it kind of just seems unlikely that we're going to hold this low, and we're probably going to go a little bit more, a little bit lower. The 786 is sitting at around 109.5. This low, which has overlapping support on the 4 hour, is sitting at 110. These would be areas I'd be targeting for a potential bounce, with the big like chunk going in around here, and then obviously all the liquidity coming in at 107 as well. So yeah, those are the levels. I mean, it's quite likely that if we see a dump, we might get like a nice bullish divergence on quite a lot of time frames, and then see a bit of a bounce. But if we don't see any regains, it's just going to be like short lived, and we're going to like continue grinding down. But yeah, it's just a little bit more to go. We're probably going to take out some of these lows around 110, do the max pain, and then maybe we'll see a bounce if we're lucky. Catting for a bounce. Anyway, let's look at so the 4 hour, the 12 hour combination bands, probably not the daily. The daily is going to be a little bit lower, probably on the 786. So the daily combination band sitting at September, and actually the daily low. So it'd be interesting if we got all the way down to there. I do think there's a very good chance that we'd get a bounce from there, probably after taking some of the liquidity at 107. Other than that, we got the 786 sitting at around like 1094, like I said, and yeah, there's a decent amount of support here, but we're probably going to see a little bit more of a breakdown first. But yeah, as soon as we start seeing shorts coming back into the market, I think we're going to start doing some nice gains and maybe start seeing some bounces up towards the upside. But as of right now, it's not looking great, and the priority is down, especially after this 12-hour candle is looking pretty nasty at the moment. Anyway, that's Bitcoin. We'll have a look at ETH quickly. Yeah, I was expecting a bounce on ETH, but it looks like we've kind of just done the breakdown candle here. Let me take away some of this stuff, and we'll take away this as well. So yeah, kind of very easy to see here. As soon as we didn't really get above this and started doing some bearish retest, it was looking a bit knackered. But we only just broke on that big 4 hour candle after the daily close. And yeah, so pretty much anything here is good for a potential short with a stop above here. Now to potentially continue down a little bit further. And yeah, I'll be looking at probably like here to here on ETH, around this area now, to potentially long. We are obviously super oversold on some of these metrics, and we have taken some of this liquidity. There's some short liquidity back up at like 4,250 that we could grab and then go a little bit lower, but the price action just looks a little bit shit, doesn't it? We've been bearishly retesting undersigning levels. I mean, that one's not even valid anymore as support, so I'll take that off. Pretty much the whole of this week. So yeah, we really wanted to see some gains above. We did start to see it on Bitcoin, but it hasn't really happened too much for the alts. So yeah, we got some nice liquidity down at like 3.8, 3.7 to aim for on ETH. Yeah, let's just have a little peek at the moon cycles on ETH. You know, they don't do too bad, and sometimes the short ones or the new moons are kind of more just like consolidation areas, but it looks like it kind of can sometimes match up quite well unless you're in like a big flat like this. But anyway, let's not look at that at the moment. We'll look at that towards the end just for some fun. Yeah, we do have some bullish divergence on ETH. We do need to just see some like local regains as of right now. Again, you're just looking to bearishly retest kind of these levels and go a little bit lower, even though all the metrics are like super cooked. There's just no evidence that we're going to bounce back just yet, especially with the options expiry and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely potential here, but I just don't see it right now. So I think we're going to go for a little bit more. Yeah, so a couple shorts I was talking about on Tuesday. One was Fartcoin. Because I am majority long. Some are doing okay, some are pretty underwater, to be honest. That's okay. I'm on super low leverage. I was talking about this Fartcoin area that we needed to gain back. It's been holding us down since, you know, we did another touch here, we did another touch here. I basically got short somewhere around here on Tuesday. Got a nice dump, took some profit. It wasn't really at the low, to be honest. And we've come up and since retested it, and I'm out of that trade. But it was quite profitable. I mean, down here, I was taking a decent amount of profit, and I just got stopped out at break even. So, yeah, again, looks pretty rough. Probably kind of wanted to keep it for a little bit lower, but I think this is generally going to go and hit 50 cents and then maybe see a massive rally back up to the upside. Or maybe it might even go a little bit lower towards 40, but unfortunately, that's just one that I'm going to have to stomach for now. Anyway, what else is happening? Asta, there's actually a decent trade on Asta right now. Oh, I should have looked at this at the start of the session. Annoyingly, I was gonna say that I was gonna set a few orders on this low here, which we've actually just wicked into, which is really annoying. So I was gonna have one trade from like 9. It was gonna be like 9.9 to 9.5, with a stop just below this low, and then I was gonna do another one, which is slightly higher leverage along this low, along 9.2. So like 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3 ish, just around the low. Seems like we've already got the wick into it. I was literally looking at this just before I started the stream at like 10:30, and yeah, it's just happened already. So unfortunately, we couldn't take that together. It's looking like it wants to just bounce at least to here. That's a cheeky like 6-7%. So unfortunately, we can't take that together. But if we do get a nice little retest or something, this is potentially on. I know it's kind of going against the market at the moment because the rest of the market looks a little bit rough, but I mean, this has just been up only for ages, and we're on overlapping support right now. So I kind of think this is at least going to do a retest of the daily open, potentially all the way up to the highs. But yeah, if we start to see some failures like here, it's probably going to do another leg down if the whole market wants to. But again, it's kind of trading against the market at the moment, Asta. And yeah, that was a good level to long. Unfortunately, kind of missed it. Kind of. Someone let me know if that comes back into the buy zone, or if that does a bearish retest here and goes a little bit lower. What else? I do have a few orders that have been set. So Pepe is literally on its low right now. These are lows that we kind of really want to hold. Again, if this comes down a little bit further into November and May, I'm gonna bid the lows on this. So about 912 to 89 ish in this area. It looks like it's locally trying to break down here, just from this like 4-hour candle here, or this 12-hour candle. But again, we are like seeing the oscillators super cooked, so we're very close to some sort of like something like this, or maybe not even that, maybe just something like this, and then yeah, if it wants to go a little bit more down. But it seems kind of typical to me that the market looks really bad just before October. Like, they're going to make it look really, really shit. and like take some of this stuff and then run it back like really heavily. So I'm gonna bid some of these lows, especially on Pepe, where this like combination man comes in, and this November May we've got all the lows around here as well that we want to hold. So yeah, I'll be bidding there. NFA of course, but yeah, we are relatively quite close to that. We got that daily low as well. That was this is a really nice flip of level that we want to like hold on here. So generally the way that I'm looking at the market right now, I'll do this on something else to make it a little bit more simple. Or the way I was looking at this last night per se is that, of course, we're either going to hold these lows and go and make a new high up to weekly open, which was probably the most probable thing yesterday, especially after we started doing some of these like small gains on the lower time frame and like the oscillators. Right now, it's not looking as probable, but this is another level to potentially like get a bounce from, but it might just be a bearish retest. So we're either going to do that, or yeah, we're going to run it all the way back down to here. And then what you're going to have to do is just get your daily subs out and long 786s. Yeah, it does look a little bit rough. We've done these 2 daily candles like as bearish retest. Now we're getting a breakdown. So yeah. If we do see a bounce from here and it comes back over here, we're going to bull div massively on the daily. Well, not massively. We're going to probably bull div on the daily and go back up to the weekly open. But if not, we might continue to tumble on some of these alts as Bitcoin Dom might see a little bit of a rise. But yeah. Oh, another thing that I'm actually short on is I think I took a short on AVAX just after I streamed on Tuesday. Just on this yearly open, I actually really nearly got wicked out on it, on that liquidation wick. But yeah, seems like a nice profitable trade for me. I'm going to take some good profit on this, just because I was so majority long on a lot of my accounts. I wanted to get a couple shorts in just to like cover, and yeah, they've saved me from a little bit of pain, let's say. Apart from that, yeah, I did get stopped out of my link, which I didn't want to see this fail, and I think it's quite similar on Doge. So yeah, which is actually breaking down. Something like this was looking really good yesterday. We did a new low, but it looked like it was just a liquidation wick, and then we made a new high. So all we wanted to do was just basically hold like here, and we failed to do that. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to go a little bit lower, but on Doge, I do think sort of like bidding this area is just a very, very good idea. Just like even for that, and then maybe a higher low up to the weekly open, even for that, and then like we'll farm. Maybe the best case scenario is just farming out some structure. But I am going to set some orders on that around, well, you can just do this really. Probably around the 886 if we get down there. But yeah, let's take some of these shits off now. Just leave it plain. Just out of interest, daily combination band. Yeah, kind of sitting in that area. Liquidations, 12-hour. Got a decent amount of stuff below us. It's very possible that we couldn't get to the 886 and we just do the 786, which was sitting around these liquidations here. We do take all of that and then we just do something like that. But I don't see that in the next couple of days at least. Maybe we'll talk about doing that stuff on Monday when it looks a little bit more clear cut. So yeah, in general, Bitcoin DOM's having a bit of an uptick. ETH Bitcoin's kind of struggling a little bit here, which is why alts are obviously getting beaten a little bit more, but yeah, it's okay. ETH is in my buy zone now. Started to buy sub 4K, adding between 3.6 3.8 area. Moon cycles, let's go. Equinox season change can be pivotal. Yeah, I do think again, like before Q4, people just rebalance. You know, we get some new data. People just want to, you know, take a bit of profit and stuff like that. It's nothing too crazy at this moment in time. 3.8, 3.6, 3.8 is also one I'm looking at on ETH as well, bro. So yeah, Hype's getting into its lows. We would really like to see Hype close its monthly candle above September. So I want to see a sweep of this, and then a big bounce up to September, and either a higher low or just a gain before the month's end. If not, it's going to be looking low key, a little bit rough. But we do have mega support on Hype all the way at like 37, 36, this area. So yeah, if we did get back down into there and we started to do some closes, it would look a little bit rough because we've like failed all this upside structure, and then this from here on it's basically looking like bearish price action. So we do need to keep that into account. But you know, I'm gonna bid support just because the bull market's not done, and I'm not really gonna try and get too scared about everything else. If we do like something like this and start seeing some bearish retests, obviously I'm going to take some profit. But you know, I think this weekly open is untested on a lot of stuff, and again, there's a lot of liquidity above us on Bitcoin that is going to get taken at some point. It doesn't need to be like even in the next 2 weeks, but as long as we're building that stuff and kind of grinding lower, it's gonna come at some point. September normally bearish too due to companies tax coming up. Need to book those losses to offset the gains. Exactly. Just more in general, a lot of rebalancing going on, and then October, November, December is usually generally quite pumpy. But yeah, it kind of feels like this is like the flush out before the final stage. Or it might even be the final stage, but it's just way too early to tell. This daily candle looks really bad on Hype as of so far. But yeah, I think we're just going to do a tiny bit more and then see a bounce. Yeah, I think that's about it. We just definitely want to watch this. I'm going to stop my recording. Someone's actually ringing my door.